This overlooked KDP coloring book niche is perfect for AI, and today I'm going to show you why. For years, publishers have been chasing after the same saturated niches, think mandalas, animals, flowers, but meanwhile there's one niche that's quietly pulling in sales month after month, and that is the dragon coloring book. At first I didn't think much of it, but after digging into the research, I found books making hundreds and even thousands every single month, and with little competition compared to the big categories. The best part is that these are mostly for kids, which means creating them is far simpler than you'd expect. In this video, I'll break down the niche and show you the potential, and then I'll walk you through exactly how to use AI to create unique, high-quality dragon coloring pages in just minutes. If you can copy and paste, then this is for you. So stick with me, because once you see how easy it is, you'll understand why this niche might just be one of the smartest opportunities on Amazon right now. Now, if this is your first time here, my name is Jeff, and this channel is all about becoming self-sufficient when it comes to making money online. So if this sounds like you, feel free to give it a thumbs up, hit that subscribe button, and turn on that notification bell so you can be notified whenever I release a new video. With that being said, let's get right to it. Now let's go ahead and take a look at this niche, the dragon coloring book for kids. Now, if we go take a scroll through the first page, we're going to see right away there are books right here selling pretty well. This one's ranked at 39,000, this dragon coloring book. The one right next to it is ranked at 153,000. The one right next to that, 152,000. And the one right next to that, 224,000. Now, looking at the covers of these books, they look all very similar. They're all dragon coloring books, and they all feature a dragon on the front. And they're all going to be for kids. Now, the age range can differ. You can have younger kids, ages, let's say 4 to 8, like this one, or you can go a little bit higher, 6 to 12, or even higher than that. This one is aged 8 to 12. Now, if we go through the next row, a little bit more varied here. These dragon coloring books now start to look a little bit more mythical, a little bit different covers, but still a little bit of the same thing. This one is ranked at 33,000. And look at the covers on these books. This one's more of that mystical dragon. This one is more of that cartoon style. And you have even this one right here that's just a very, very simple cover with just basically one image. Now, looking at the next row, this dragon's coloring book, 203,000. Look at the ratings, all very good. Same with this one, ratings very good. And so we get the idea here, right? It's going to be for kids, going to feature these similar looking dragons, a little bit of versatility here where you can go a little bit more mythical or a little bit more cartoony. But if we go all the way back up here, we got to look at the data. And for this dragon coloring book for kids, total results, 2,210. Now, search results is basically just how competitive a niche is. And we don't want to put up a book in an overly competitive niche because the chances are that people aren't really going to be able to find that book. So when it comes to search results, I'm looking for about 1,000 or less, because it's just going to tell me that the niche is not going to be overly competitive, which means that there's going to be a better chance at getting my book seen on the first couple pages of Amazon so that people can see it and people can buy it. Now, that is going to be a little bit competitive, but considering just how broad this niche is, obviously we can use KDP ads to get our book ranked up here, more so on the first page or even on the second page of Amazon so that it can be seen by more people. But if we look at the niche score, 59, that's decent. Titans Pro Analysis says demand is a 5, and the opportunity score is a 9. Now, since we're looking for about 1,000 results and less, I did the research for you so you didn't have to, and this is what I came up with. And that is the dragon coloring book for kids 8 to 12. So we're gonna niche down a little bit. So instead of just all kids, we're gonna focus on kids 8 to 12. And we see the total results dropped all the way down to 313. So this niche is not gonna be too competitive. You're gonna be able to get your book seen here basically on the first couple pages without having to use KDP ads or any type of marketing. And the niche score is still pretty good, 57. Titans Pro Analysis, demand is a 5, opportunity is an 8. And if we take a look at the books here, we're going to see very similar books to the previous niche. Now, there's no point putting a book up on Amazon if people aren't looking for that type of book. So this is where we need to look for demand. And how I judge demand is I look for at least 3 or more KDP books that all have a bestsellers rank of 300,000 or below, because it's just going to tell me that these books are consistently selling, which means that there has to be some sort of demand here. Now we're going to start with the sponsored products here. These ones I don't really take into consideration. These are where people are paying for KDP ads. But the first book that's organically ranking is going to be this book right here. We can see it has a ranking of 224,000. And this one is specific to the niche ages 8 to 12, Dragons coloring book. So that's good. This one right here ranked at 39,000 and the book right next to it, 33,000. So that's already 3 books right there, which shows me that there's enough demand in this niche to go ahead and try to create one of these coloring books. But obviously you want to do all your research, go through the entire first page, and just look at the depth of this first page. So 153,000, let's keep going down to the next row. We have some books that have dropped in ranking, but for example, this one still ranked at 221,000, even with bad customer reviews. So think about how you can improve this book if you wanted to compete with this one. Look at this book right here, ranked at 69,000, not the best reviews as well. So there's a lot of potential here with this niche that you can improve upon some of these books that are selling because you can see the BSR, but the reviews are not that great. So if you improve upon that book, you could probably steal their sales. So let's take a look at this book. This one has a bestsellers rank of 39,468. And from Titan's Quick View, we can see 30-day royalties up to $700 per month and 30-day sales anywhere from 216 to 324 copies per month. Now, I find that Titan's Quick View tends to underestimate the royalties, and I'll show you that in a minute. But going through this book, so this one is priced at $9.99, which is the typical coloring book price that I see these days. And this one has 50 illustrations, so totaling 108 pages, 8.5 by 11 inches, typical coloring book size. You can also create books in a square shape, which is the 8.5 by 8.5 inch shape. So 50 unique dragon illustrations is actually not that much when you consider that if you use AI, you can generate these images in just seconds. Now, looking at the sample, kind of shortchanged us here because only showed the first page, which is the book belongs to page, and then the back cover. So here's some samples of the interior. We can see the type of dragon coloring book this is. So if we try to look at the A+ content, hopefully they have it, and they do. This is a great spot for publishers to just put more information about the book. You can put pictures, images, more details. And for example, this publisher put an image of what the coloring page looks like fully colored in, which is also great to do. And then one that's not colored in, and then a few more pages here of the interior. Now, I always recommend to create A+ content for all your book listings. If you haven't done so yet, you can watch my video, my tutorial on A+ content. I'll leave a marker up top on the screen right now. Now, if we go back up here, let's take the 30-day sales and plug it into the calculator. So let's take 324. Let's multiply that by the estimated royalties that we're going to find from KDP's royalty calculator. So this is the printing costs and royalty calculator. The book type is paperback. Interior type is black and white interior with white paper. Trim size inches, 8.5 by 11 inch trim size. And then this book is 108 pages, $9.99. When we submit that, we're looking for the Amazon.com marketplace because that's where most of your sales will happen. We can see the estimated royalty is going to be $3.15. So when we plug that into the calculator, we're gonna get over $1,000 per month in estimated royalties, compared to Titan's Quick View's $700. So that's why I say Titan's Quick View tends to underestimate the royalties, because I find that when I do my own calculations, it's going to be a little bit more than that. Now, seeing the numbers and examples is one thing, but creating your own book is where most people think it gets overwhelming. The reality is it's not complicated at all. If you can copy and paste, you can create this book. That's why I want to show you the exact process that I use step by step so you can see how simple it is to generate unique, high quality coloring pages using AI. Now, the reason I say that if you can copy and paste, you can create this book, because all you need to do is literally copy these prompts and then put them into ChatGPT, which then ChatGPT will go ahead and generate these images for you. So I went down this prompt list and I found a category that I liked is in line with this niche, and that's gonna be right here called the Dragon Cave theme. So what I did is I copied a couple of these prompts so I can show you the results that it generates. Now, full disclaimer, I do pay for ChatGPT Plus. It's about $20 per month, and it allows me to create and generate these images faster and in much more quantities. But as you can see, I just copied and pasted this prompt, and here is the full color image. Now, this is great and can be used for things like the book cover or A+ content. And in the prompt itself, there's supposed to be a second image right here. That's supposed to be a black and white line art version of the same illustration. But if it doesn't produce that image, all you have to do is type in the second image is missing, and it will go ahead and produce that, as you can see right here. Basically the same image, but this is the black and white line art. Now, this is the one that I can go ahead and use as one of the coloring pages in my coloring book. There are a couple steps that need to be done in order to have a finished product, like downloading this and upscaling it, but that is actually very easy to do. So I did another prompt right here. And most of these prompts, if you actually read it, they're all the same all throughout, except for the first sentence where it says featuring. This part right here, this can be changed out to anything that you want, and it's gonna keep with a consistent theme. So this one right here, this is the result. Once again, good for a cover or A+ content. And once again, the second image is missing, so I put that in. And as you can see, there it is. All I have to do is download this, upscale it, and then put it onto Canva to be able to include in my coloring book. And then another one right here. And this is what it came out with. I think this one actually would turn out well as a cover. Once again, the second image is missing. And then there is the coloring page. Now I did one more. This one is a dragon cave decorated with glowing mushrooms and hanging lanterns. And then this is what it came out with. And then second image missing. And there you go. Now all of these images look high quality, look professional, and honestly looks like they could have been hand drawn by an actual illustrator. And that's the reason I like these prompts. Now, these prompts are not free. I did not make them myself, but I do find that these prompts are very, very good at what they do. So if you want to gain access to these prompts, you want to buy them for yourself, you can check the link down below. It's going to give you 300 plus prompts for $17. Now, what you want to do after this is you want to save all of the black and white images so that you can go ahead and upscale them. Now, in order to upscale these images so that they're good for KDP, you're going to have to find an AI upscaler. You can go to this one right here. It's called imgupscaler.com. Now, you can only do one image at a time for the free version. Do 400% and then upload and start. And then go ahead and do that for every single coloring page that you have. Now we want to put all of these images all together. So we're going to use Canva for this. Now I did a custom size, and because I'm going to include bleed with this interior, the width and the height is going to be 8.625 by 8.75 inches. Now this is going to be that square book, that 8.5 by 8.5 inch book, but with the bleed, it's going to be a little bit more, as you can see right there. Create the new design. Now, the first page typically is a book belongs to page. It's very easy to create that. Go to text, add a heading, type in this coloring book belongs to, and just squish it down if you want right there, put it in the middle. Now, what I like to do is I like to close up the line spacing a little bit, and then you can choose a font here, something that fits the type of book that it is. We'll go with this one right here. It's going to make it a little bit bigger, put it right in the middle there. And then what I like to do is hit effects, and I like to go here where it says hollow, and you can play around with the thickness. Kind of adds that coloring element right there. Go to elements, look for this line shape, just bring it down the bottom there, stretch it to the end, and then highlight all of it, and I'll just center everything. Now we're going to add a page. This page is going to be the backside to this page. And when you're dealing with coloring books, you don't want to add another coloring page on the backside of a coloring page. So we tend to leave these blank. Now add another page right there. Now this is where those images that we got from ChatGPT, we're just going to go ahead and paste them into here. So I've gone ahead and all four of them are right here. We're just gonna arrange them. I'm gonna add another page. We'll just drag one image per page and then put this one on the bottom here. And now all we have to do is click on it, put it on the corner there, make sure it locks. and then drag it to the other corner, center it. And one other thing, if the lines are not deep black, you can go ahead and click on the image, click edit, go to adjust over here. I like to put blacks all the way up and also play with the whites, put them a little bit up like that. And you kind of get that nice black. Now the next page has to be a blank page. So we're gonna add a blank page right here. That's good. Now here's the next coloring page. Do the same process. This is all you really have to do. And then center that, go to edit, adjust, put up the blacks. You can also put up the whites. There you go, add a blank page. So following every coloring page, there should be a blank page. And then with your image here, just do the exact same thing. There you go. I'm actually gonna stretch this out a little bit more. Center it, edit, adjust, blacks up, whites up as well, or really depends. I think I'll leave this at 0 for this one. Add a blank page, and then here's this one right here. Same process, edit, adjust, blacks up, white, so you can play around with it right there. And you just keep doing that with ChatGPT until you have about 40 images. Now, once you get to your 40th image, you can either put a blank page here or you can delete it. Either way, it's gonna have a blank page behind here. And then this interior is done and complete. All you have to do is go ahead and share this so you can download it here. Download as a PDF print. You can flatten the PDF, but make sure it's all pages and then choose CMYK. This is the best for professional printing, but if you only have the free Canva, you can go ahead and use RGB and then hit download. Now, when it comes to creating the cover, KDP has a cover calculator here and a template that we can download. So we just have to put in the information here. This is a paperback with black and white interior. Paper type is white. Reading direction, leave it to left to right. Measurement units, inches, and then the trim size for this book is 8.5 by 8.5 inches. Page count, we're gonna do 82. So now we're gonna calculate dimensions. So this is the number that we want. Full cover, 17.435 by 8.75. That's what we're gonna put into Canva. And while we're here, we wanna download this template because we want to use this as well. So here on Canva, make that new design, 17435, 8.75. Now with that download from KDP, look for the PNG version right here, drag it onto the screen. Now go ahead and lock this into the corner right there and drag it all the way to the opposite corner here. Let me move myself all the way to the opposite corner right there. Now, what I like to do for my coloring books is I like the backside to be just a black color. So I'm gonna go here, elements, look for a black square, and I'm gonna go ahead and position this to the corner here. You can either click it like that or go extend beyond it. This will ensure that you don't have any white space there. And then just go ahead, fill it in here. Now, if I zoom in, you're gonna notice these two dashed lines. I like to cover the second one on the right ever so slightly, just like that. There you go, that's good. Now we can color this any color, black, white, doesn't matter. For now, let's just do black. Now I went ahead and downloaded one of the images from ChatGPT, and we're gonna use this as a cover. Another thing too is when it comes to these covers, you can go ahead and click edit and you can go here to adjust and you can kind of brighten up this image by just playing around with these attributes right here. You can go to vibrance and as you can see, it looks a lot better there. Now we can go ahead and just place this here and then go ahead and stretch it as far as it can like that. Click on the black square, go to position over here. You send it to the front, or you can also check here on layers and just put it on top of the image. And that'll ensure that the spine is covered with the black color. Now there's just a few things left to do. We can go to text right here, add a heading, and we can type in the title, which could be Dragons Coloring Book, and then change the font. So we can use the font that we were using. Here it is right there. And we can put this up here like that. And then go ahead and duplicate that. Coloring book for kids ages 8 to 12. And we can just make this a little smaller here. Let me move me over here. And then we can go ahead and put this on the bottom like that. Now we can change around the color. So for example, I kind of want to duplicate this because I want to make the word dragons bigger and take away the coloring there. And I want to make this bigger to take up more of the space here. Dragon's coloring book, and we can just make that like that, kind of squeeze it. And then we can change the color. So let's go ahead and look for this teardrop right here. So we can pick a color and find one that complements this. I'm going to choose this green. I'm going to go effects here and choose an outline. And I'm going to choose the outline to be, let's say, black, yellow. Just play around with the color until you find a combination that works really, really well. And then I played with the thickness here, just made it a little bit thicker. Coloring book can be the same. We could do that, or we could change it up. We could make it black and then put an effect on it. Outline, we can make the outline color the green and then thicken that up like that. Dragon's coloring book. And then the bottom here, coloring book for kids ages 8 to 12. Let's see if a black would do well here with a white border. Let's go ahead and do that. Coloring book for kids ages 8 to 12. I'm just going to space this out a little bit. Put this a little bit lower here. Take up some more space here. I think it looks better right there. And I'd say that looks pretty good. We could add some elements here if we wanted. Let's go ahead and do Dragon. Look for something here under graphics. Let's go ahead and put this up here and go ahead, make it smaller, position it to the front like that. And we can go ahead and maybe put it somewhere on top of the clouds. We could do wing here, graphics, choose a wing here, and then let's go ahead and put it right here. Go ahead and duplicate it, flip it, and put it on the other side here and position it backwards. Maybe move this over here. Now, one more thing is you always want to put some of your interior pages on the back, just because that sample feature on Amazon doesn't always work as intended. So I'm going to go ahead and just select all of them, make them smaller here, put them over here, and then just arrange them like this. I'm going to make them a little bit smaller. And then you can also put a corner rounding. You want to make it look a little bit cooler. Just do that. Let's go ahead and select all of them and make it all 15. And then there you go. That's a simple cover for this coloring book. All we need to do is share, download this as a PDF print. You can go ahead and flatten the PDF. And once again, CMYK, best for professional printing. But if you're only using the free version of Canva, go ahead and use RGB and then hit download. And then really all you need to do now is just go ahead and go through the upload process. And then within 72 hours, your book will be live on Amazon. So there you have it. The Dragon coloring book niche has been hiding in plain sight, but with the right research and AI tools, it becomes one of the simplest ways to publish books that people actually want to buy. If you want to take it to the next step, grab my free KDP royalty roadmap, link down below. It'll walk you through the exact process of turning niches like this into published books that generate passive income. If this video helped you see what's possible, make sure to leave a like, subscribe, and turn on that notification bell so you don't miss my next video. With that being said, thanks for watching. Bye for now.